Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Green Pill Podcast. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Darragh Walsh, and this is my other host, Brendan McKernan.
Hello.
So, Brendan, what's been going on this week in the land of Brendan?
Up and out of Belfast. Not much. Just doing what I normally do, working from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day.
What do you
And
work
then
on?
if I'm not in the gym or something, I'm just sort of chilling about the house, doing stuff, reading where I can, meditating where I can.
Hmm.
I think in the last episode I was talking about I'm trying to sort of improve my diet. I've been a bit better this week than I've been normally. Haven't been eating as much shite.
And for the audience, what do you work at?
Hmm?
Um,
Oh, I work as an apprentice electrician, so I'm on building sites a lot,
yeah,
lots of manual labor.
yeah. So my week has been quiet enough, I guess. I was back in work last night, which was fun. I work in retail, so I love it. I've been to the gym every day this week except for Monday, so I'm happy enough with that. And the bulk is going well. Hit my calorie, I've exceeded my calorie goal every single day this week, so I haven't stepped on the scales because I'm too afraid to. But
I'm too afraid to look.
yeah, because the last time I was in a calorie surplus, the scales didn't change at all.
Jesus,
So
it
you are
wasn't going
burning.
down. That was a good thing.
What?
As long as it wasn't going down, that was a good thing.
Yeah, and then it started to when I got ill. So it's I can see it like I am getting bigger, so it's a good sign, I think.
I see. I've just looked the same for the last fucking 8 million years.
Mm. Um, and I got back into my college work this week as well, which I'm plowing on
Oh
with.
yes.
I'm currently doing one of the essays for labor law, and yeah, that's some drag, I'll tell you. I actually
Uh,
don't. It's on. What's it on? It's on fixed term workers. So it's couldn't get more exciting than that, to be honest with
uh, I know better than most how much fun essays are.
you. Yeah,
Anyway, we'll talk about what we're going to discuss today, or
yeah,
well, what you're going to discuss today, rather.
yeah. So, Brendan, so we spoke about last week about your struggles with online dating.
Yes.
So for everybody at home and for Brendan, we're gonna do a dating masterclass where Brendan is going to ask me any question he has about dating in general, and I'll answer them to the best that I can.
Okay. Right. I think I'll ask the first question. The first question I'm going to ask is probably the one that is at the forefront of every single person's mind whenever they try to do like a cold approach or anything like that. Is how do you get past the fear?
So the way I would approach it anyway is the minute you see the girl that you want to approach, don't even think about it. The minute you see her, walk in her direction. Don't give yourself the 2 or 3 seconds to think yourself out of it. Because the minute you start thinking about it, your brain is going to come up with ways of not approaching. Um, You've heard
It's
of
like
the
the Goggins mindset.
yeah.
Don't lose the 1 second battles.
You've heard of the 5 second rule with food,
Hi.
right? But there's a book. I think it is called the 5 second rule, the book is. But it basically the premise of the book is if you were to sum it down into one word, it takes 5 seconds to talk yourself out of doing something. So the minute you get that thought, act on it within 5 seconds.
Okay. Then I
And
suppose.
you don't need you don't need a fancy pickup line or anything like that or a cheesy pickup line or whatever the fuck. You just need to walk up, introduce yourself, maybe ask them a question, compliment something. So, like if they have a dog, talk to the dog. You'll get into a conversation with her from there. If you like something about her feature, not her body, her clothing, you have nice boobies.
Not even
Um,
her or nothing. Your eyes are nice, your hair's nice.
yeah, exactly. Don't be a weirdo about it. Ooh, boobies. But um, I like your hat. I like your boots. Where'd you get that necklace? You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I think the best pickup line is, "Hi, my name is."
Just hi, my name is. That's it.
Yeah, and whatever your name is, and
Yeah.
go from there.
Do you think you have to introduce yourself? Like,
No,
does it not sort of feel forced
no.
when you introduce yourself?
You can, but you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
So Jay Waller has this famous thing, and it went viral uh on short form content, and it was basically you walk up to the girl and you're like you say I don't normally do this, but I couldn't help myself. You're gorgeous, la la la, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I've heard that one before
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah.
and then you ask their name, and if they'll tell you their name, and if they ask for your name, you're basically in.
Yeah.
So you can wait until they ask you your name. Now, I hmm, yeah, I don't think I can't remember. Did I say my name to my girlfriend when we first met, or did she ask me? I can't remember. But both can work. It's just, you know, it depends, but most people don't have the confidence to walk up to someone anyway, and at they'll fumble over their own words, even if it's something basic. So for anybody that isn't the most confident, my recommendation is walk up. Hi, my name is Darragh, and because everybody everybody loves or knows how to say hi, my name is Darragh, like or for you, hi, my name is Brendan. It's comforting to introduce yourself. It's the You're not as likely to fumble over your own words if it's an introduction. Hi, my name is Darragh, I
Yeah.
think. Or walk up to them. I love your boots. Where did you get them?
And then carry on the conversation. Do you think? Do you think that even just talking to random people on the street that you happen to pass by, like just saying hello to someone on the street, stuff like that. Do you think that's like good practice?
Yeah. Um, so many people are, you'd be surprised. So many people always have earpods or headphones on. And if you walk through, I can't say this for general terms, but I know from any town I've been in, like Wexford Town, New Ross, Enniscorthy, um, if you're walking through town and you don't have your headphones on and you smile at someone, they're going to say hi to you more often than not. Now, majority of the people you're going to be smiling at are older people, but even just get used to saying hi to people you'd walk past, and it makes you seem more social,
Yeah,
and you're convincing your brain that you're more social than you actually are, even if you're not.
right. Here's the main question, right? This is the one everybody wants to know. This is the secret. This is the secret everybody wants to know.
Okay.
How do you get the number? How do you do it?
Mm. Well, when you're after introducing yourself or you've broke the ice by talking to her in the first place, the if the conversation is flowing, and you seem to be vibing well, um usually use the line, "You seem like a lovely person, we should hang out sometime," and then hand them your phone. That's how I'd recommend doing it.
Hmm.
Like, you'll know based on the conversation and her how she's reciprocating what you're saying, whether you're going for the number or not. But one thing I actually do like is Hamza's approach, and it is to not get the number. Have you heard of his approach? His new approach with it?
No.
So Hamza says, don't get the number. Ask them, what are you doing after this?
Right.
And try and hang out with them there and then, so that you're jumping the queue. Because
Okay.
chances are she has a roster of dudes already looking for her attention. So you're jumping the queue.
Yes. Never even thought that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I'm gonna take it as my own idea.
Patent it. TM.
Yeah,
Darragh idea.
exactly. Uh,
Sell
it's
it. Make
the
a fortune.
Woodsy exclusive.
So let's say you've got their number, right?
Yeah.
Or not, or whatever, right? Whatever approach you've chosen, whether to get their number or to just hang out with them right there and then. So let's say you organize a date, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is a good way to go about a first date with someone?
Right. So there's many ways you can go about it. And obviously, you know yourself, the most popular form of a first date is dinner.
Yeah,
I think that's an awful idea.
okay.
And it's because you're tied to the one location, right? So you're sitting in the one location for hours and hours, and it just seems too much of an interview style thing because
Yeah,
you're getting to know each other. Because the we skipped this part completely about texting her, but my recommendation is don't waste time texting her. Use the time. So literally 2 or 3 messages set up the date.
yeah.
It was hi, hi, give me a name.
What's the name of that one girl I went with? Jade. Let's say her name's Jade. Okay.
Okay. Hi Jade, lovely to see you earlier. Are you free? And insert whatever day you're free.
Yeah,
And try and have it within the next week. My recommendation is try and arrange it in the next 2 or 3 days. It gives her less time to bail, to think about bailing, etc.
yeah,
And it means you don't have to waste as much time texting. 2 or 3 messages, attempt to date. If she says no, try and reschedule once. And if she bails again, gone. Move on.
gone. That's it.
Yeah,
Cut it
move
off.
on.
Yeah,
It is as simple as that. Like she could genuinely be busy. Something genuinely might have come up, but the chances of it happening twice are very slim,
hmm.
right? So, what was your original question? Oh, date, right? So, you're getting to know each other on the first date, right? So, why would you sit down in one location? Make it exciting, right? So, you could bring them to an area where there's a few different bars, right? If you're into drinking. Like I know you're not, Brendan, right?
Yeah.
Um, I know you're not, but let's just say like you're into drinking,
I've narrowed my options then.
right? So bring her to an area where there's multiple bars. Um, go into the one bar, have a drink, bring her to the bar across the road, and if your ultimate goal is to bed her that evening, well, you're already moving from location to location, right? You're already moving from location to location, so it doesn't seem as much of a hassle to get her back to yours. Now, my recommendation is don't sleep with her on the first date. And I'm not the biggest fan, like, I do have the occasional drink, but I'm not a fan of a drink on the first date because you're getting to know someone and you mightn't click with them, but everybody seems attractive after 3 or 4 pints.
Yeah,
Like, you know, so um, for you, Brendan, try cafe. So bring them to a cafe, get a takeout coffee, um, and then go for a walk in a park.
hmm.
So you have the coffee, you have the walk in the park. Um, with Zoe, I brought her to Winterville, which is a Christmas festival in Waterford. I originally brought her to Costa for a hot chocolate. We went and done the Ferris wheel. We went for a walk around. We went back to the festival again, went for another walk around, and then got the bus home.
Hmm.
So try and mix it up and don't try and be fixed to the one location. Um, and if you are planning on doing a restaurant dinner date for the first date, fair enough. But cinema is a big no-no. Don't bring them to the cinema on the first date.
Right. Why's that?
Well, you're sitting in front of a movie screen where the two of you have to be quiet for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you aren't actually interacting. You're sitting for 2 hours, not saying anything
Yeah.
in the same spot.
Third date.
Yeah.
Cinema is a good idea for the third date.
Okay. Right. Now let's talk about how do you know if it's went well or not, and how do you go about rescheduling?
Rescheduling, like getting a
Yeah.
second
So,
date.
like, so if you finish one, how do you go about
Getting a
organizing
second.
another one and another one and another one, etc.?
Yeah, so same approach with the first date. So same approach really to the first date. Don't waste much time trying to set up that second date within a week of the first.
Yeah.
A few messages and try and arrange that second date. Hi Jade, I had a lovely time. Or wait till she texts you to tell you she had a lovely time. I like
Right.
that one a bit more. And then text her and goes, yes, it was brilliant. Are you free again next Tuesday?
Yeah.
And if she's like, no, sorry, you're like, I'm free Tuesday or Wednesday. She'll say, oh yeah, I'm free Wednesday. And you're like, okay, dinner at whatever location? Question mark.
Just be quick about it. Be snappy.
Yeah. Send one or two messages in the meantime, obviously. Like, don't ghost her for a few days before it. Like, don't be
Yeah.
rude. Like, but if she's wanting to text you, yeah, work away. But more often than not, lads are going to talk a girl dry.
Yeah.
So, um, and then after the third date, then start seeing about where things are going to go.
Yeah.
Then start texting her a bit more. Um, you know, you want to stand out.
Yeah, you do. You want to stand out.
Yeah.
You need to be the
Um,
catch.
but like you don't want to make it seem like I don't know, you're the same as everybody else. You're just there. You're like you don't want to simp over her like everybody else is doing. You really don't like.
Okay. So let's say you do. So you go on several ventures out, right?
Mhm.
And then how have you went about that discussion of where things gonna go here?
My recommendation is to well, right? So my recommendation was always I'm going to wait till the girl asks me what are we.
Yeah.
Um and then bring it up. But when it came to Zoe, I actually took a much different approach to what I usually take, just because I knew I wouldn't have to play any games with her and she wasn't playing any games with me, like.
Yeah.
So we were
Lucky
hanging out.
fucker.
What?
Lucky fucker.
I know. But like so we were just hanging out one day and I had it in my head like I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask her to be my girlfriend today. And I asked her and she was like, and she was so excited when I asked and she said yeah. And I was delighted myself.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. But if you're dealing with anybody that doesn't appear to be different to majority of women nowadays, your best bet is to go about it the way I just said it
Yeah.
and wait until they ask you what are we.
Okay.
So now you have her.
Yep.
Um and this is where you won't see any advice after this part. You have her and you don't know what to do now. You think the hard part is over, but little did you know, keeping them is harder than getting them. So Um, so Brendan,
Right, let's hear your secret. Always
so
one.
Brendan, well, I'll start with the don't stop putting in effort after you've gotten her. You need to become 10 times better than you were before meeting her. So
Okay.
you still need to continue working on yourself and you need to get so much better. That's my take on it. So, Brendan, any questions on how to keep a woman?
There's one thing I see loads of people talking about, right? I think it's complete bullshit. I wouldn't know because I've not actually experienced it, like, but it's this whole thing of you need to be mysterious even when you're together. You need to keep this mystery, this air of mystery. What do you think about that? I think it's complete and utter bollocks because first of all, if you're going to be spending the rest of your life with this person, how in the name of fuck are you going to keep mystery for what, 40, 50, 60 odd years? What,
Yeah. You
do
shouldn't,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right. So firstly, don't put on a persona when you're trying to attract her because you
Oh
need
no, definitely not. No,
you need to be
no.
completely authentic
Yeah.
when it comes down to it. You need to be brutally yourself.
That age old advice that everyone thinks is bullshit, be yourself. It's
Now,
actually
in fairness, the reason why people call that bullshit is because your future wife is probably not going to be attracted to you as you are.
well then that's a you problem. That's not a her problem.
Exactly. So you need to become the person. You get me? So you need to improve yourself. You need to get better, but you're still yourself, but you still need to get better. And then you need to get even better after you get her. But don't change who you are. Just become the best version you can possibly be,
Yeah.
right? And then and then you can be yourself. Um, but like being mysterious. I'm gonna be graphic here, but Zoe knows every time I go for a shit. Like, you know, like if you're with the right person, and I know anybody that's watching this is gonna be in the comment section going like, oh, blah, 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 blah." Can you hear it, Brendan? Comment section. I can,
Yeah. Alright.
right? Um, but when it comes down to it, mm, like if you're with the right person, there shouldn't be an issue. You can be brutally yourself and they can know everything about everything and you'll be fine. That's what I've seen anyway from my own experience. And it's about finding someone you're attracted to, but everybody misses out on the compatible part. You need to be compatible with this person. You both need to be attracted to each other and just need to be compatible. And if you're not compatible, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But Ryan Horgan said it, and I actually really like it. You have to be okay with the fact that you might be single forever.
Yeah.
Because that way you can have your standards, and no standard is too high. That's all I'm going to say. right?
Oh,
So
well,
my
no,
recommendation,
no standard is too high, but there's definitely some questionable standards out there. Like,
right? So when you have, and this goes for men and women, by the way,
yeah,
what I had to do was I had to sit down and I had to write out with a pen and paper, not on my phone, pen and paper, I had to write out exactly what I was looking for, etc., etc., and what I want, the traits and characteristics I wanted my future wife to have, and what she'd be like, right? And then when you take that list, yeah, you mightn't get one or two components in that list because that's just normal, right? But my standards were way too fucking high, apparently. I was told I was going to be single for the rest of my life if I didn't lower my standards. That's what I was told. You're going to be single for the rest of your life. My parents told me that, by the way. People in college were telling me that. And I was like, well, if that's how it's going to be, then so be it, right? And then this girl came into my life like a bull in a china shop and literally matched, was literally my standards, but 10 times, properly exceeded my standards, which meant to me that my standards were actually too low, not too high. And I found everything I was ever looking for, right? But if you don't hold yourself to those standards that you set, then that's when you're going to start losing respect for yourself. So it does not matter. You have to be okay with the fact that you could be alone and single for the rest of your life just to hold yourself to the high standard that you're after setting for your future wife or future husband. And that way, you won't accept any bullshit while you're in a relationship. Do you understand me?
yeah, yeah. I've done it as well. Read out the list of things I want my future wife to have. I've done it as well.
Yeah.
Actually, have it. I don't know where the book is. It's in my room somewhere, but it's in my I have like several books that I all write different things in. Of one book's my journal. Of one book is like a reservoir of advice I get, and I write it all down so that if I
Yeah.
ever forget it, I can come back to it. And then of like
And
a
like
planning book and stuff. But yeah, I've done it as well.
I was already following it, that advice, without realizing it. I was already following that advice. You're gonna have a good laugh at this. What I just saw a notification, right? But right, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. But and then when Ryan Horgan verbalized it, I was like, wait, that's exactly how I was. But he just verbalized it in a way that I can explain it to other people. And I thought, like, that should be just normal, like, except the fact you could be alone forever. But make sure you're holding yourself to the standards you set for that person.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to ask on top of that?
No, it's you've covered everything, pretty much everything I was
You
gonna ask you about.
you've probably got this notification as well. But Sean in the group chat,
Yes.
he remixed our reel for um one of the clips we posted for episode 1.
Lovely.
It's nice to know we're appreciated by some people.
As someone's looking out for us.
Yeah, it's nice to know we're appreciated by some people. Also, I'll give his account a shout out because he is posting consistently.
So I know you said that that was sort of the end of like your expertise, but I do want to just at least touch on the worst case scenario when you think it's over.
So Sean C208, follow up everybody. But yeah, ask your question.
Yeah. So if you're ever if you're ever in a relationship, right, and you get to a point where you feel like it's not going anywhere or it's not right or you aren't compatible, how do you go about ending it?
Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah. Well, that
Be
goes
up,
without saying.
be upfront and honest. Like, look, you're so like not like there's gonna be times. Firstly, there's gonna be times in the relationship where things are a bit rockier than they usually are, and there's gonna be times where you know things aren't the same as what they used to be. So it's about differentiating between that and the relationship just literally being over. Or like if you aren't compatible, just sit down and talk with them about it. Look, I don't feel a good enough connection here. Now, you should be able to tell from the first few dates before you've made anything official whether you're compatible or not, right? Um, so don't progress it to being official if you aren't compatible. But if for whatever godforsaken reason you're in a relationship with this person and the compatibility just isn't there, well, don't string the person along. End it right there, but be respectful about it. Like, don't be a dickhead about it. Like, I'm going to give you an example here because, and it's goes to show as well, right? So, Andrew Tate got arrested for human trafficking and sexual assault,
Right.
and he's currently going through a trial, right? So, the trial is pending. He was originally arrested for it in December 2022, right? Very late December, early January 2023, somewhere around that time. It was after Christmas anyway. And guess what? And you already noticed, and most of the audience noticed. Any ex of his they contacted, not one of them have turned on him. Not one of them have taken money to say anything against him. And they all say nice things about him. Because when he was ending that relationship, he was respectful about it. So be respectful when if you have to end a relationship.
Yeah. Don't burn your bridges.
Exactly. Right? Because there could be a chance even you mightn't be compatible now. But in 5 years from now, you could come across each other's paths and be compatible then. Now, my advice when it comes to a breakup is if you and someone break up, I don't recommend like people say don't go back to your ex. I say do, but there's a big but. Firstly, if they've been with someone else while yous have been off, I say no because you're no longer their first option if they've been with someone in the meantime of yous two breaking up.
if they were able to jump ship that quickly, it shows how little importance
Yeah.
you held. Yeah.
And that's why, as a man, I don't think you should jump from relationship to relationship like that. Now, if you're with someone and this is your future wife, be fucking respectful. Like, if if both of you respect each other and both of you genuinely love each other and both of you see a bright future for the two of you, it goes without saying, both of you are going to cut off anyone that could be a threat to the relationship. It is as simple as that. Um, so you shouldn't have an option to jump ship to in less than 3 months after breaking up. And if you have, you never truly cared about that person in the first place.
Yeah.
And that goes back to being respectful.
That's actually reminded me of a quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He
Perfect.
said, it wasn't in relation to like dating or anything, but he said, if you have a safety net, you'll never give 100%.
Yeah, if you have a plan
Because
B,
if you know there's someone waiting to catch you, then you're not worried about how successful you're going to be. Like, look at look at people who become super successful. They don't have a safety net.
yeah, if you
A
have a
lot of them
plan B,
started with nothing. They had nothing.
if you have a plan B, you'll never put 100% into plan A if you have a plan B.
Yeah.
Shiver. Um, one sec. But if anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask about relationships, and put them into the comments section. So on Spotify, that'll be the Q&A thing at the bottom. On YouTube, that's just the regular comments section. And on Rumble, that'll be the comments section, pretty much. So yeah, follow our Spotify, Rumble, and YouTube. Listen to us wherever on any of those three platforms. Don't forget to follow the Instagram and the TikTok. All of them are the TikTok and the Instagram are the Green Pill Pod _ official. They'll be linked below. And yeah, you know the Green Pill Pod, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble.com. So what creators will we send people to for relationships?
The top of the list would be Ryan Horgan, definitely without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because
So
the man's played all the games, and he's married. He's been married for like what 15 odd years. He's been married for over 10 years or something. He has kids, and he's, as far as I know, his relationship's still going strong.
his wife's still
So that the thing is, right? Don't take advice. I there's not a lot of like good people to get like dating advice from,
yeah.
because not everyone really has the full picture. Rand Horgan's one person that does sort of have the full picture, but most most people you get dating advice from nowadays, they're not married. They haven't really been in a long-term relationship.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the like red pill people, very rarely are they like have they actually been in a relationship for
Yeah.
longer than a few years.
Don't take relationship advice from someone who can't hold down a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. The best
Um,
people to take relationship advice from are people who are married and have been so for a long time.
yeah, like I'll give you two people to take relationship advice from as well. And you can agree or disagree with this first one, but Jordan Peterson,
Oh yeah, without a doubt, Jordan Peterson, he's been married for what,
40 odd years.
20, 30, 40 years, something like that.
Mm. Like I take relationship advice from him, and I'm in a happy committed relationship. So
Yeah.
and then David from How to Beast. He's been married for over a year now, and he's been with Julia, his now wife, for 8 years.
9 years.
9.
9 years. Yep.
So, he's who not to take relationship advice from? Hamza, Andrew
Well,
Huberman.
Hamza's one where he's got half the picture.
Yeah,
He's really, really, really good at getting into a relationship
yeah.
and for the early stages, but he's yet to sort of figure out the
Uh,
extended, longer picture.
If you watch his podcast episode with Chris Williamson, so the Modern Wisdom podcast, where Hamza went on Modern Wisdom, it's only a couple of weeks ago. Hamza from after that, if he has any relationship videos up since then, I would recommend giving that a watch. Um, and that podcast itself, that episode itself, brilliant, brilliant. But yeah, don't take it from Andrew Huberman unless you want to live the life he lives. Did you hear about the Andrew Huberman controversy?
No,
So
you said
they
his name
tried
there and was like Andrew Huberman. What?
they tried to cancel him because he was sleeping with multiple women at the one time, and none of them were any the wiser.
Right.
So they
So he was
tried to
keeping them
cancel.
all in the dark, was he?
Yeah, and he apparently he was raw dogging them all because they all got they all one or two of them got chlamydia.
Fuck, right, okay.
That's just the story going around. If you want the full story on
There's
that,
there's his credibility out the window.
well, no, because you can still take science advice from him, and from the health one.
Yeah, well, you can take science advice from him 100%, but it's whether people are going to be able to like look past that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
but
mean?
but like yeah, no, it was an interesting controversy. If you want the full story, check out the True Geordie YouTube channel. He done a great review on it. I don't particularly like True Geordie, but he done a great breakdown on it. So, um, very funny. It's a very funny story. Actually, he has a new book coming out, Brendan, Andrew. It's
Yeah,
called Protocols, um, which I'm gonna pre-order, hopefully. I might. I'm not gonna say that live on air. Actually, I'll tell you when we're off air. But
yeah,
I'm really wanting to get that book 'cause it seems like a really good book. But yeah, David from How to Beast, Ryan Horgan, and Jordan Peterson would be my three recommendations for people to look at
yeah.
regarding relationships. Um, if you're wanting to learn like pickup game, there is this good YouTuber called Coach Kyle. Now he's only out of a long-term relationship recently, so but
Take that as you will.
yeah, but he has good game. I'll give him that. I also wouldn't take it from the likes of Justin Waller. Yeah, it works for them what they're doing, but again, I wouldn't recommend going down the dating multiple people route. But don't forget to follow our socials, and we'll see you all next Saturday because that's when our podcasts are now, are on a Saturday. I changed the date, but yous don't know that. So I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.
He said.